Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We're just jumping back into things, of course, still using the team that we've been using for a while now with Milotic. In yesterday's episode, I did replace the Gyarados, I replaced the Arcanine for a Gyarados. Didn't really make an appearance, but we'll see if it comes out today. It was mainly to help my matchups against physical type attackers, obviously in general, but more specifically Garchomp, so we'll see if that can come through in today's episode. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Ranked, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it, and I just wanted to take a quick second and thank you guys. I really feel like I should be saying this every day because you guys are just awesome and always so supportive and nice. But I was just reading through like some of the earlier comments from yesterday's video, and I always read the YouTube comments even if I don't necessarily get a chance to respond to you. Like, I do read pretty much all of them since my videos don't get like a crazy amount, and they're all really nice comments for the most part. And yeah, everyone's just really nice and supportive and positive, and it just makes doing this whole YouTube thing really fun. So thank you guys, like, it really does mean a lot, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And thank you guys for just being an awesome community and for supporting me in whatever I do. Alright, let's get into this first game, though. It's going to be Robert running a team of Tapu Fini, Muk, Arcanine, Porygon 2, Garchomp, and Celesteela. So, obvious Trick Room component with Porygon. With the Arcanine, my opponent might be dissuaded from bringing Arcanine, since I do have the Milotic. And most certainly I don't think he would lead with the Arcanine. So, I actually am probably going to bring Gyarados into this matchup. Like, this is the exact kind of matchup you'd want Gyarados out in. So I think I'm actually going to go with Gyarados and Tapu Koko to get an initial Intimidate off. I'm going to go with Gigalith because if my opponent Trick Rooms, I can actually take advantage of that. And for the last one, I think I like Kartana here because it matches up pretty decently against Tapu Fini, the Muk, even Garchomp, and I can Z-move Porygon as well. Once again, Milotic, like, you really could make a case for here, but Porygon's so bulky, I do absolutely nothing against it. Muk can just knock me off and two-shot me, in which I don't do much in return, even with Scald. Tapu Fini just walls me completely, even Celesteela does. So it'd only be brought mainly for the Arcanine and the Garchomp. And Denial Ego here, once again, like, it's similar to Milotic, where it's like, oh, it's really good against, like, two Pokemon, but absolutely trash against everything else. So I'm not going to bring it, but Gyarados will make an appearance after not coming out in the 3 games yesterday, so let's see what we can do. Looking forward to this match, though. Definitely a scary team composition, like nothing too crazy, but it's still a lot of just like really tough Pokemon to go up against. But hopefully, I think the addition of Gyarados here will make things a little bit easier. So we'll see. This is a pretty offensive lead. I get the Intimidate off and Electric Terrain. There's no Terrain Wars in this, and my opponent goes with Porygon 2 and Celesteela. Okay, I'm content with that, I think. The only fear is if Porygon 2 has Thunderbolt, because if it does, it can just one-shot Gyarados. And that's actually something I'm rather concerned about, just because of how good Gyarados is in this matchup as well. Okay, let's see. I feel like you wouldn't have Thunderbolt without Tapu Koko on the team, but I can't really say for sure, which is the issue. Trick Room very easily could go up here. So I think my safest option is to just switch into Gigalith. And Thunderbolt the Celesteela slot. Like, there's no way Celesteela allows me to get this T-Bolt off. But might as well try, because if I do, I knock out one of the biggest threats to my Gigalith. Otherwise, I might be inclined to just protect or switch out. But if it protects, I can just Z-move next turn. Yep, there's a switch out. Probably Garchomp coming in if I had to guess. Oh, it's Muk. Okay. Sweet. That's a Specs T-Bolt going into the Muk slot. That's really good. Yeah, that does so much, jeez. Another one might just knock it out after Sandstorm, because it looks like it did just around 75% or so. Yeah, and Porygon actually does have Thunderbolt. Okay, good thing I switched out then, jeez. Okay, so that's really good for me. That turn worked out as perfectly as could be, because I still pressure with Thunderbolt. Gigalith doesn't take too much damage, and I can Curse here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Thunderbolt the Muk and Curse. Porygon here, like, it's like if you want to Trick Room, then my Gigalith will outspeed everything, which is really good for me. If you don't want to Trick Room, you can't knock either of my 2 Pokemon out right now, especially because Porygon didn't get a special attack boost. So it's actually Porygon we're drawing out, probably into Garchomp? No, it's Tapu Fini. Ah, okay. That's a good switch. So no Garchomp, which initially is surprising, but Fini's actually a really great switch in here because that allows Muk to survive the Specs T-Bolt here, and it means I will probably faint to a Poison Jab. Yeah. That was good. Nicely done. So I think normally I'd be concerned, but now that I know all 4 of my opponent's Pokemon, I think I still feel really not really comfortable, but like, Kartana's faster than everything, and it's not an immediate threat of getting knocked out by anything. Unless the Muck has Flamethrower, which it could. So that's a concern, I guess. Yeah, I'll bring in Kartana right now, though. So with Kartana in, I do have Z moves with both of these Pokemon, but I'm not sure if I want to go with them just yet. Great switch out last turn, though. That was a really nice play. Getting rid of the terrain. Okay. So here, the best course of action is probably to just Sacred Sword Muck. And maybe just Stone Edge. Yeah, I don't think I want a Z move yet, because I want to save it potentially for Porygon. Tapu Fini protects, which is perfect. Even better, so I don't waste the Z move until that slot. Nice, and Muck doesn't even protect. Yeah, so that's actually huge, because that means Kartana gets the +1 as well, which is immensely helpful in this kind of matchup. Because that boost really assists me with whatever is potentially in the... Or, I mean, I know what's in the back already at this point, but an all-out pummeling at +1, I'm pretty sure knocks out the Porygon. It's not Lefty's Fini either, and not Specs, so maybe one of the 50% berries, as Porygon 2 actually comes in here, which I'm totally okay with. Yep. This time around, it will get a special attack boost, but that's okay. Oops, I don't want to Z-move with Gigalith, I think. Although I could. I'm at +1 with both. I'm pretty sure +1 Z-move from Kartana knocks out Porygon, so I think I will just Z-move there. And Stone Edge into the Fini. Yeah. Okay, even better. Fini switches out, so Celesteal is going to be taking a +1 Stone Edge, as long as I don't miss. And here's the all pummeling coming out. I hope this knocks out. If not, this could be tricky, because then I assume my opponent's going to Ice Beam into Kartana. But I have Gyarados in the back as well. However, Kartana is my best answer against the Tapu Fini. So, we'll see if I can actually get the knockout here. It's +1 Z move. Fighting Z move. But without stab, like, a little bit more underwhelming. Okay, nice. Gets the knockout. Perfect. Yeah, so it was really huge that my opponent just, like, didn't attack with Fini, because, you know, obviously with Kartana not running Assault Vest or Focus Sash, I still take a lot from special type attacks. And I don't miss Stone Edge either at +1, which does so much damage. Wow. Yeah, that's really good for me. So, yep, now I have +2 on the Kartana and +1 on Gigalith. That's kind of why, one of the reasons why I wanted to try out Curse Gigalith. You just, especially against, like, Porygon and more passive Pokemon, you can really just curse in front of them and go from there. So I'll probably just Sacred Sword Celesteela and Stone Edge Tapu Fini here. Like, I could have Leaf Bladed Fini and Stone Edge Celesteela, and Celesteela does protect, but that's fine. Waterfall from Gyarados should knock out at this point. And I don't think Fini should have a way to one-shot me. Yep, there's just the Muddy Water, so probably going for accuracy drops at this point. It's not going to knock out Gigalith with the Sandstorm up. No accuracy drop, please. Does get one on Kartana. But I do connect with Stone Edge. Okay, nice. And it does have the 50% berry. Okay. So, I mean, obviously that's kind of annoying. But Sacred Sword still connects even through the accuracy drops. So I can just Sacred Sword Celesteal again, and that should knock out at +2. And another Muddy Water won't knock me out. So I'll just go for the same play. Stone Edge and Sacred Sword. And I'm fairly confident about that, just because Kartana does have the attack boost. The reason why I didn't Leaf Blade and Stone Edge to Celesteela was because, like, the worst case scenario last turn, like, I don't lose both of my Pokemon, I just take some damage and maybe an accuracy drop or two. Yeah, Celesteela does go for the double, but doesn't get it, and Sacred Sword here should finish it off. Yeah, nice. So Kartana getting a +3 in this game. That's wild. Maybe he'll get all 4 knockouts, actually. Kind of like one of the games yesterday. Fini does go for Muddy Water. Yep. I guess I could still lose if I miss the Leaf Blade. Actually, maybe I don't even want to... I'm at -2 now. Maybe I just want a Sacred Sword instead. But the thing is, the Tapu Fini doesn't have something like Lefties, and I can Dragon Dance up with Gyarados, and I'm still at full health, so I'm not really too worried. even if my opponent got the double, I could still just Sacred Sword next turn. So I think my opponent probably was playing for a triple. Without the accuracy drops, obviously I'd have this locked up, but that's my opponent's win condition, so not too crazy to see my opponent go for that. I think I'll Dragon Dance here and detect this turn. Yeah, because my opponent's probably inclined to Muddy Water here. So, one, I reduce the damage onto Gyarados, and I just get a boost up. I might just Waterfall and Sacred Sword instead of Leaf Blading, because I am at -2 accuracy with the Kartana, so I don't want to risk it. And I can just go for guaranteed damage instead. It's actually Moonblast coming out even better. Nice. Yeah, so with that, I'm just going to Waterfall and Sacred Sword. I guess this does, I would assume this doesn't knock out Tapu Fini, but like, Tapu Fini would need a double hit with Muddy Water, and then get, Gyarados would have to miss like 2 or 3 times after that. So yeah, I'm not going to risk Leaf Blading here since I know I'm at -2. Oh, actually, yeah, Sacred Sword might just knock out here. Probably does. At +3 it should. So, oh wait, I can miss Sacred Sword still. Right, it goes through. I was thinking of another attack, my bad. I totally mixed that up. Wow. Yeah, because obviously Sacred Sword ignores the boosts, but for your accuracy, it still matters. But because Waterfall, I didn't get an accuracy drop with Waterfall, I should be good. But yeah, that was actually kind of, like, if I missed the Sacred Sword on Celesteela, I could have lost there too, so that's scary. I don't know why I thought Sacred Sword was one of those attacks that never misses. I was obviously just confusing it with the mechanics of how it ignores stat drops or increases on your opponent's end. So, yeah, we do end up with the win there. I should have Leaf Bladed there. Excuse me for my mistake there. I just totally had a kind of brain fart. It's kind of late right now, but that's not really an excuse. So yeah, that was kind of risky then, I guess. Maybe I should have Leaf Bladed the Tapu Fini and just Stone Edge. But, like, the fear there obviously is, oh yeah, like, my opponent would need an accuracy drop and I would need to miss. Whereas if the Tapu Fini just protects and Celesteela just Flamethrowers, like, there's no RNG involved in that at all. It's just a guaranteed knockout onto my Kartana. But that's why playing against Tapu Fini is always really scary, especially when they get an accuracy drop or two. So, yeah, it could have been scary if I missed on the Celesteela, but fortunately, Celesteela didn't get the double or anything like that. And ultimately, I won this because I feel like Kartana was just able to put on so much offensive pressure, and then my opponent was also switching out the Tapu Fini here and there, never going for an attack. Obviously, I had a fear of a Leaf Blade from the Kartana. As a result, Kartana was able to just stay in relatively healthy, and the Gigalith was able to add on a lot of additional chip damage here and there as well. So, pretty fun game there, and we're just going to look for our next game today. Yeah, once again, sorry about that Sacred Sword mishap there. Obviously doesn't make a difference whether I Leaf Blade or Sacred Sword there. So I should have Leaf Blade. I mean, that part much doesn't matter. But I thought I was like 100% safe anyway. But like the accuracy drop could have mattered if I missed the Sacred Sword against Celesteela. Although I suppose my opponent went for the double anyway. So it's like even if I missed there, I still would have been in it. But yeah, I don't know. Scary game for sure. And that's why Tapu Fini is just terrifying to go up against. But this Kartana with the Z move, you can see how quickly it snowballs if you do get one knockout and your opponent doesn't like check it accordingly quickly enough. So, just going to look for our next opponent of the day. Hopefully we find someone soon. Okay, we're going to find Swervy from Tennessee. I was going to quickly grab my phone just to check if I got any messages, but the game popped up quickly enough. Sometimes it takes so long where it's just like, oh, there's no game popping up. But this time, right when I thought that pause was coming, we do get a game. So, Porygon, Tapu Koko, Tapu Fini, Arcanine, Kartana, Gigalith. You know, pretty much the most standard team running around right now. I don't think I really have, like, a definitive game plan against this kind of team still. But I do like, I think, Tapu Koko for sure. And then I like Gigalith, kind of. Although Kartana is actually pretty... Yeah, actually, I like Kartana more, yeah. Tapu Koko, Kartana. Though my opponent could easily leave with those two as well. I'll definitely need Gigalith in case my opponent goes with Trick Room, I think. And for the last one, Gyarados is kind of tempting, but maybe now Ego's better because it matches up quite nicely against Fini, Koko, and Arcanine. And it has Sash. Alright, let's get into this one. As always, like, the trickiest thing I think playing against these teams is just kind of guessing what items they could have, potentially. Especially because in best of one, I'm not nearly as confident with a team like this one. I just really want to bring my Lodic, but, like, I don't know. I feel like the fact that Scarf Kartana is a set and exists just makes Scarf Milotic not that great to begin with. Otherwise, I'd consider bringing it here, but Tapu Fini also just walls it completely. Okay, we see Porygon and Tapu Koko. Let's do Syringos at first. My opponent's does. Okay. I will probably want to swap out my Coco here then. And Galen's gonna give it a special attack. That's also not good, yeah. I'm gonna Dazzling Gleam here and switch Kartana out into Gigalith. Yeah. Gigalith, you know, obviously kind of bulky, should be able to take the special attacks decently well. Dazzle should bring Coco under 50% and put Porygon in a range where maybe another Dazzle and Rock Z move from Gigalith can knock out. I really do want to conserve Kartana because it's super important in this matchup. Porygon actually switches out, okay. Into Arcanine. I'll take that. Just because Arcanine doesn't do too much against Gigalith other than maybe Will-O-Wisp, or if it's Choice Band close combat. And we just see a Thunderbolt come out, okay? Targeting Gigalith, and that's Life Orb. That did over 50%, that's not good. Yeah, that's really not good. Well, I'm not too happy about that. I was hoping I could tank it a little bit better. It's not the end of the world, though. I think I'm definitely going to click the Dazzling Gleam button here again, but the question is, what do I do with Gigalith? I wonder if that's Modest Tapu Koko. I feel like you would need Modest to do that much damage, but maybe I just underestimated its damage output. Am I willing to just sacrifice Gigalith in this matchup? Honestly, I think the answer is yes. But the question here is basically, does Tapu Koko protect? Because I could easily just protect my Tapu Koko, or sorry, my opponent might anticipate me to just protect Gigalith and Dazzling Gleam. So to be honest, I think I'm actually just going to Stone Edge and Dazzling Gleam here. This is kind of risky. But Tapu Koko does switch out, which is good news for me. Nice. Okay, so Porygon comes back in. It's going to be a special attack increase again. Maybe I should have committed more heavily and switched out Porygon. Or sorry, switched out Tapu Koko. But there's the Flare Blitz into my Tapu Koko. I actually survived. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, that's gonna proc Arcanine's Berry though. If Stone Edge connects, I think it still knocks out. Let's see. Okay, it does connect. Nice. Still gets the knockout. I think... Does Tapu Koko faint here? Oh, I survived with 1 HP. Okay. That's actually a big deal. So let's see what comes in from my opponent now. It's Kartana. I'm okay with that. Kartana is kind of an issue though, especially because it didn't bring Gyarados here. I don't know what set it's running either. My best course of action is probably to just Dazzling Gleam here and get to switch it into my own Kartana. Yeah, I think I'll Dazzling Gleam here and just protect Gigalith. Safest play possible. Kartana could protect as well. And he does, okay. But that's good information to note. That's kind of frustrating though. Maybe I should have swapped out Tapu Koko. But something would have been taking an Ice Beam then. And now Eagle could have come in there. You get a crit on Porygon. What? That's so good for me, I think. I don't understand that play at all. I'm really confused by that, to be honest with you. Well, the other question is, what Kartana is my opponent running? Is it the Z move Kartana? I think I'll have to bring in my own Kartana here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really understand the Trick Room just because you know you're faster. So I can just all out pummeling and Rock Slide here. So, and this works, this is more in my favor because like, it's still pretty bad though if like, if I don't flinch Kartana and Kartana gets the speed tie win. Because then, and it's Z move. Like, the combination of all three of that is actually bad news for me, but we'll see. So I do get the Rock Slide off. Okay, Kartana subs. So I'm gonna guess it is Z move then. This is tricky, but I'll take the substitute there, because if it actually just Z-moved Cortana, I think I would have lost. So I lost the speed type, but my opponent didn't go for it. Maybe it's not Z-move, but if you're running substitute, it's not going to be Focus Sash Assault Vest, so I'm fairly confident that's Z-move Cortana. But it could be Bloom Doom Cortana as well, which means it can't knock out my Cortana. It would have specifically needed to be fighting Z-move Cortana. But if I won the speed tie there, I would just win the game instantly. I still don't really understand the Trick Room play, though. Like, I was thinking maybe I'll have to Trick Room with my own Cortana, or sorry, now Ego, or maybe after it comes down to a speed tie between our Cortanas. But now Tapu Koko comes in, yeah. And I think I'll just Rock Slide Sacred Sword here. I don't see much reason to do otherwise. Tapu Koko here definitely protects. So once again, it's like, do I win the speed tie between our Cortanas? Or Cortana, or Tapu Koko doesn't protect. I do miss, but fortunately I connect with the Tapu Koko, which is probably more important here. We'll see whose Cortana attacks first here. It does get the Sacred Sword out, but it's not a Z move. And I survived that. Yep, that's game. Ooh, that was intense. That Trick Room play really makes no sense to me. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Like, yeah, I don't know. It just puts my Gig with an advantage. You have Tapu Koko in the back as well. Maybe it was a timeout or a misclick on my opponent's end. Or maybe my opponent's thinking of something that I can't really figure out. I just don't really see much reason to Trick Room when you're going up against the Gigalith. Like, my potential strategy was to Trick Room with my Now Ego and close out the game with Now Ego and Gigalith. With Cortana in the back, though, like, it would have been a really close game, I think, otherwise. Once the Trick Room went up, I was like, I'm fairly confident I should be able to win this, like, guaranteed now from here. So, either a misplay from my opponent, or I'm missing something, or maybe just a misclick from my opponent. Because I think in that position, you just should go on the offense, because you know, okay, I have Porygon, I have Tapu Koko, I have Cortana. My opponent has Gigalith, which is by far the slowest Pokemon in that pool. His own Cortana, and the Now Ego. Although, I never revealed Now Ego, I think, right? So maybe my opponent was fearing that I had like Tapu Koko, which would have been faster. That would make some sense then. I don't know. Like, Trick Room is still kind of a curious decision there, but ultimately it worked out pretty nicely for me. And we do get 2 wins here. So, yeah, a really, really fun episode for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, leave a like if you did. Thank you for being awesome, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, peace.